Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are going to be talking Rogue Class spoilers today. We've got a couple more pilots revealed for the Rogue Class, and we're going to take a look at them today because Cad Bane's not the only person that flies this ship. So Atomic Mass Games dropped a couple of other pilots on us, and we're going to run through those and talk about the Rogue Class just a little bit. If you guys are new here to the channel, you got plenty of time to enter to win the big giveaway going right now for a $70 Amazon gift card. That giveaway is for a Shadow Collective core set for Star Wars Legion, but you can use it for whatever you want. If you don't play Legion, you could get something else with it, but basically treat yourself. And yeah, all you have to do to enter to win that giveaway is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this or one of my videos. We also have a painting contest going on in Discord right now, and we'll be doing some more promo giveaways in both Discord and on Patreon. So if you were interested in any of those, check the links down in the description below. Also want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. I know you've heard me talk about them. I talk about them for a reason. They are amazing full metal tokens, and they are double-sided. They're gorgeous, and you're going to absolutely love them. They come in a variety of different finishes. They're available for multiple different types of games, as well as Legion, X-Wing, L5R, Arkham games, Keyforge, you name it. Also, if you use code Crabbok VIP, you're going to save 15%. Orders that use that code and spend $35 or more are going to get a free Crabbok lightsaber nunchuck token. I find that token is the greatest token in all of gaming. You can mark critical hits with it. You can use it for light side versus dark side. You can just flip it heads or tails, blue or red, and it works in role-playing games, works in a lot of different games for a multitude of different purposes. The 5 on the back is actually great for marking damage in games that have high damage counters like Legion or Imperial Assault or something like that. So pretty cool stuff, but check out luxuryplaystyle.com. All right, so we're going to be talking about the Rogue Class in this video. We got a couple of pilots previewed today, so we're going to start off with our generic, which will almost certainly be the most expensive of the bunch in the new 2.5 rule set. Of course, you know, they making fun at the fact that in 2.5, you know, generics seem to be unplayable if you want to play competitively. And so they tend to be more expensive than some of the named pilots, or at least as expensive as some of the mid-ranged named pilots, and have no upgrade options virtually for them. So this is probably a pilot you will never run. This is probably the only time we'll ever talk about Outer Rim Hunter. At Initiative 3 for a generic, it has no specific pilot ability, but again, just a quick rundown of what the Rogue Class Starfighter can do. It's got 2 attack in the front, regular standard forward arc. It's got 2 defense, 2 agility, 5 hull, 2 shields. So moderately survivable little ship. It's got a lot of different action opportunities, a lot of repositioning action opportunities. It has, of course, focus into a red boost, focus into a red barrel roll, evade into a red barrel roll, a red boost all by itself, and then a white target lock all by itself. So you have a lot of reposition ability, and you're going to want to use that for the Dead to Rights ship chassis ability that it has, which says while you perform an attack, if the defender is in your bullseye, defense dice cannot be modified using green tokens. So basically, even though it's only got 2 attack, it really wants to make sure that those damage get through, and of course that's why all of the repositioning is there, because it is going to get you dead to rights, and it's going to put some damage on you, which is pretty interesting. I think it's you know, I'm not a big fan of ships that have less than 3 attack generally. So this is one that you know, at least can make a lot out of. It's almost like 2.5, right? And it could potentially do way more than that. Again, with a lot of people, you know, you roll a couple of eyeballs and you have that focus, or it could be good for hunting Jedi, you know, although granted, you can still change them with Force. I'm thinking Jedi with like the Obi-Wan Kenobi ability of like, hey, refresh your focuses and all that other stuff. Like it's like he kind of wants to go after Jedi, but he's going to force them to spend the Force. He's going to force them to use up all of their Force so they can't spend it on other things. And that could also be an additional use for something like this. Although probably want to go after somebody who's focused, or, well, honestly, you're going to attack probably whoever ends up in your bullseye arc. But, you know, and so sometimes there's a little bit of luck that ends up with that. But, of course, that's just me talking, because if I get somebody in my bullseye arc, that's just luck for me. I usually don't plan that because I'm not that good. All right, let's go ahead and let's look at our named pilots. We got a couple other named pilots here. We have Initiative 1 with Nom Lum, the Laughing Bandit. Now, this is an interesting one. This is, and by the way, great artwork for these too. Both of these are actually the Router Rim Hunter has probably maybe the best art piece out of all of these. That's really a good. It's a good art piece to be on a generic. So very cool. Nom Lum here, the Laughing Bandit, is going to be Initiative 1, so is moving first, is going to be a great blocker, right? It says at the start of the engagement phase, you may choose one enemy ship in your front arc. If you do, treat your initiative as equal to that ship's until the end of the round. This is a really interesting ability because you have to think about it. Like, I look at this and I'm thinking, oh, wow, that's going to be very different with Road, with 2.5, because this was designed during 2.0. This was, I believe, part of the Michael Gurness wave, and so this was designed at FFG, and I obviously the print stuff is still going to say AMG on there, but this was all done by FFG initially, and so it's interesting. I'm curious if there was any changes made to this, because the ability works in either rule set, but in this case. If you have initiative, you're still you can make sure you shoot before anybody that's in your front arc. Even if they're in initiative 6, you can be like, but I'm initiative 6 and I shoot first. So that's a really interesting thing. But in Road, it changes it a little bit. It'll be a little bit less predictable. So maybe he laughs a little bit less. Maybe sometimes he even gets laughed at. I don't know. But this is an interesting one because it is going to allow you, because you still have the even if you lose the rule for Road and you have a Darth Vader shooting at you and you wanted to tie his initiative, well, you still will get to shoot back. So it's kind of if just in case you happen to die on the turn that you use this ability, when you really wanted to stay alive, you'll still be able to shoot back because you'll still have that higher initiative, because it does last until the end of the round. So that one is an interesting one, but I think it's also just really interesting to look at a card that was designed under 2.0 and has it has a different rules application. It's going to play a little bit differently than it would have under 2.0, and then now it will under 2.5, which is interesting to me. And then we have back from the dead, potentially, so to speak, the Kirax pilot Victor Hell is back now in a rogue class at Initiative 4. Victor Hell's subtype is Storied Bounty Hunter. And he has the same pilot ability. After you defend, if you did not roll exactly 2 defense dice, the attacker gains 1 stress token. So this one is another interesting one that is significantly, or at least partially different with after AMG's kind of changes, because of the fact that in Standard you can't use the stealth device anymore. And so I don't know if... I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much this will actually have been changed, because, again, pilots and different pilots for different ships have different, upgrades that they can or cannot take. Would not surprise me if Victor Hell was made to not have the modification slot. That would not surprise me one bit. So it wouldn't matter if you couldn't put stealth device on Victor Hell or not, because maybe you could never put him on stealth device on him. We'll never really know, right? We'll see what he ends up coming out with, because if they give him the option to be able to take a modification, well, then in extended play you could still give him a stealth device, and then of course he would roll 3 defense dice, and so that would be pretty interesting. Considering you're going to be focusing probably a heck of a lot, it might be pretty tough for you to get hit. You're gonna be moving around a lot. You'll probably be getting some stress tokens too. I think it's gonna be more helpful if we know what all upgrades these can take, how many points they're gonna cost, and all of that. Of course, everything is different now with points and loadouts, but yeah, Victor Hell looks like he's gonna be interesting. Obviously, the current way to kind of want to work this guy is trying to either stay at range 3, which is going to be really hard considering you are somebody who wants to line up bullseye shots, But then there's also the, of course, obstacles. So trying to hide behind an obstacle, so you're throwing more dice. I don't know. The ability doesn't seem like it synergizes with the chassis ability as much. If you're, because generally, if you got somebody lined up in your bullseye arc, you may not have some kind of modifiers. Like if you're getting close enough to the enemies to line up this shot, you're probably rolling 2 defense dice. This one will be an interesting one to see. I have a feeling Victor Hell may not get played as much. That's my gut instinct. I think out of these 3, I feel like Nam Lum will get played the most. The lower initiative leads me to think Nam Lum will be very cheap, a very cheap pilot. So maybe like a 3-point pilot. I don't know. And so yeah, it's I don't think a 2-point, maybe more than a 3-point pilot. There's seven hit points on this ship effectively, so maybe more than that. But I guess we'll have to see. But those are the 3 pilots we got for the Rogue class. So as more information comes out, we'll have to see, because we still haven't seen the Separatist pilots yet. So I'm sure they're going to do some Separatist pilots for the Rogue class. I'm sure they're going to also eventually spoil cards like the Xanadu Blood. Maybe there's another title for the droids to use. Maybe there's more than one title. I'm not sure. We'll have to see if if they spoil some new upgrades that come with this pack as well. And we also have Z95 spoilers too. So a lot of Z95 spoilers, presumably will be in the pipe. And they did also just announce that Celebration, they're going to have Asmodee and Star Wars tabletop games will be there. Every Star Wars tabletop game except for Armada will be kind of represented at Star Wars Celebration, which is so they're going to have basically they're going to be talking a little bit about. They're going to have an hour on stage to talk about these games, and so X-Wing is one that may get some updates. They said they're going to talk a little bit about the future of Legion and X-Wing at Star Wars Celebration. So we'll have to wait and see. So that'll be pretty cool. And of course, I will bring it to you. I will not be at Star Wars Celebration. I don't currently have plans to go to that this year. I have been the last 2 I have been to. So maybe the next one. Maybe they'll bring it back to Orlando here pretty soon, which would be pretty cool. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are superheroes, rock stars, and Ultra Magnus. Yes, you're Ultra Magnus. I don't even know where that came from. All right, guys, make sure you continue to transform, roll out, and don't ever turn into like an upside down station wagon when you're transforming, because that would look weird, and I don't think it'd be very, very combat effective.